So last class we were discussing about different bonds in brickwork, right? And we have already discussed about the English bond, structure bond, header bond, and English bond. So I hope you remember what is a structure bond. Before starting brick masonry, I have given you a brief explanation on the important terms to be noted down in brick masonry. So at that point, I told you what is the difference between a header and a structure. If the brick is laid in such a way that its length, okay, its length is parallel to the face of wall, you call it as a structure. And if the brick is laid in such a way that its width is parallel to the structure, you call it as a header. And if the bond is made, if the masonry work is in such a way that all headers are coming, you call it as a header bond. And if all structures are coming, you call it as a structure bond. Then I told you there are another kind of bond in which structures and headers will be used in combination. You will be using a combination of structures and headers. Okay, so in that combination of structures and headers, English bond was one important bond. Do you remember what is meant by English bond?
Yes, sir.
There will be alternate courses, and in one course a number of structures will be placed. The first course will be entirely made up of structures. Second course will be made up of entirely headers. Again, the third course will be made up of structures. Like that, there will be alternate courses of structures and alternate courses of headers, right? So in the English bond, and another thing regarding bond work is, whenever you are making any bond, you should make sure that in two adjacent layers, okay, in two adjacent layers, the vertical joint should not be coming together in a single line. Okay, so in order to avoid the vertical joints coming together in a single line, what you are doing in English bond, immediately after structure course you will be having a header course, and at the beginning and end of a structure course, at the beginning and end of a header course, you will be placing a queen closer. If a queen closer is not placed, you will be keeping two headers together. So two headers means one header will be having the size of one brick. So two headers will make two half bricks, that will be one full brick. So that thickness or that will be same as of one structure. So the vertical joint of structure and header will come in a single line. That should be avoided. To avoid that, you will be placing a queen closer. Do you remember what is meant by a queen closer? What is queen
Yes,
closer?
sir.
What is queen closer?
So when a brick is into two equal parts.
Yes, when a brick is split into two equal parts, longitudinally you are splitting. Okay, you have to say that, otherwise it may get confused with bat also. In bat also you are breaking the brick, but in bat you will be breaking it transversely. And in longitudinal direction, if you are breaking, you get a queen closer. So that is about the English bond. English bond we have already discussed. Now I am going to tell you about the Flemish bond. Okay. Now this is a Flemish bond. So can you observe this figure? Are you able to see this figure? Are you able to see it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So looking at the figure, you can explain yourself what is a Flemish bond. Now you remember what is an English bond. English bond has already been discussed. Now you can tell me what is a Flemish bond. Observe this figure. What can you tell? Yes, I am waiting your answers. Huh?
In the form of header bond and
Pardon? I didn't get you.
Sir, arrangement in the form of one bond and one structure bond.
Okay.
So maybe to alternate bricks.
Okay. I'll do one thing. I'll call out randomly. Those people need to answer. Okay. Vivek Bhatt. Who is Vivek Bhatt? Vivek Bhatt. I'm seeing Vivek Bhatt online.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Vivek. How are you? How are you, Vivek? Are you fine?
Yes, sir. I'm fine.
Okay, fine. Okay, Vivek, can you see this diagram?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now you can tell me how this bond is different from a English bond. English bond have already been discussed. So what can you infer from
Sir?
this? Yes.
So in this bond, one
I'll
better
give
bond
you
and
chance. Smita, I'll give you chance. I'll give you chance. Now it is Vivek's turn. Okay, Vivek, tell me.
Yes, sir. In this bond, we will have the two different groups of T bonds. And in this bond,
In this bond,
we have two different bricks. One is vertically, and
how are you
second one
laying?
is
Okay, fine. How are you laying bricks in this bond? How are you laying bricks in a Flemish bond? So please listen. This light colored thing is your structure and this dark colored thing is your header. So when you observe the lowermost course in this Flemish bond, you can see that you have placed one header. Okay, you have placed one header. Next to the header is a structure. Again in the same course you are having a header, structure, header, structure. So in one course itself, okay, understand, in one course itself, what you are doing is you will be placing the header and structure. In English bond, you are having alternate courses of structures and headers, but in this Flemish bond, in the same course, you are having alternate headers and structures. Okay? Alternately, you are placing headers and structures. So that is the basic feature. And since you are placing the headers and structures alternately, there is no problem of vertical joint coming together. If you observe course number 1 and course number 3, it is coming vertically, but course number 1 and course number 2 is not coming vertically. So never ever vertical joint should be forming in adjacent courses. If vertical joints are forming, that will result in a reduction of strength. We don't want to have a reduced strength, right? So we will be placing it like this. Again, when you observe the second course, you will be placing a structure first. You have a header, structure, header, structure, header. Okay. So this is how it is different from an English bond. In an English bond, you will be having alternate courses of structures and headers. In a Flemish bond, in the same course, you are placing alternatively, you are placing structures and headers. Okay, is it clear?
Excuse me, sir. So I had a doubt since
Yeah.
last class.
Tell me.
सर जो ये बॉन्ड है मतलब वो कैसे फॉर्म हो रहा है हाउ इट्स बीइंग फॉर्म्ड मतलब मटेरियल क्या है इसके बीच में
किसका मटेरियल? बॉन्ड का?
यस सर
How you are making a bond? You will take a brick, you will place the brick. Over the brick, you will be preparing a layer of mortar. You will be preparing a mortar.
only mortar is there
Okay.
Only mortar is there.
How only mortar is there? What do you mean by mortar?
So the mixture of mixture cement वगैरह का mixture.
Cement, fine aggregate and water.
Fine aggregates.
That will be mixed together in a proportion. And that will be the
Yes.
mortar. In some cases, you may be using lime mortar. In olden days, you are using the lime mortar, but nowadays you are not going for the use of lime mortar. So nowadays the mortar is made up of cement and fine aggregate, most probably cement and sand or cement and M sand. So you will be placing the mortar over this brick. Again, you will be placing the next brick like that. This is how you form a mortar. Sorry, this is how you form a bond.
Okay.
Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So now you understand what is the difference between a Flemish bond and a English bond. Okay. Now let us see in detail what is the difference between a Flemish bond and English bond. Please see this figure.
I had one part.
Yes, what happened?
So if the material is same, like we are using only mortar in every if मतलब हम हर एक में सिर्फ mortar use कर रहे हैं, so why there is difference between these bonds? Why aren't they same?
No. Mortar is used to join. Okay. In any bond, you are placing the building material. Here, brick is the building material, and to join the building materials together, you are using the mortar. It is not like mortar will be different. Now, your question is why you are having different bonds, right? There are different
Yes, yes.
applications for different bonds. I am going to discuss that. Okay. When you will see the difference between English and Flemish bond, I'll explain you in what situations you will be using this English bond and what situation you will be using Flemish bond. Okay. Mortar has
Sir,
yes. Tell me.
sir, the color of structure bond is light and the header bit is dark. So it is random arrangement or it has some reason.
No, it is not having any reason. Actually, it is never like the color of structure and header is not different. This is just to make you understand the difference. In this diagram, they have shown it differently. Okay. See, please understand that header and structure is not different kind of things. If this is the brick I am using, if I am placing the brick like this is structure. ये ब्रिक मैंने थोड़ा रोटेट करके ऐसा रख दिया, वो हेडर हो गया. ये दो अलग अलग मैटर्स नहीं है. मेरे पास दो ब्रिक है, दोनों बराबर है, इक्वल साइज का है, सेम कलर का है और इक्वल डायमेंशन भी है उसका. ठीक है. सेम मटेरियल से सेम मोल्ड से मैंने दो ब्रिक बनाया और एक ब्रिक मैंने क्या किया, एक ब्रिक मैंने ऐसा रख दिया. ठीक है. और एक ब्रिक मैंने ऐसा रख दिया. अगर मैंने एक ब्रिक ऐसा रख दिया, ऐसा मतलब ये ब्रिक का लार्जर डायमेंशन ये वाला है, ये वाला उसका लेंथ है और ये इसका विड्थ है. तो अगर ब्रिक का लेंथ, जो लेंथ अवेलेबल है वो मैं वॉल सरफेस को पैरेलली रख दिया, इसको हम बुलाते हैं स्ट्रक्चर. ठीक है. ये सेम ब्रिक अगर हम ऐसा प्लेस करते हैं, ऐसा मतलब ये ब्रिक का शॉर्टर डायमेंशन है, ये शॉर्टर डायमेंशन वॉल सरफेस के लिए पैरेलल है, इसको हम बुलाते हैं हेडर. ठीक है. ये फिगर में आपका बेटर अंडरस्टैंडिंग के लिए ऐसा अलग अलग कलर्स में दे दिया. ऐसा कभी नहीं होता है, एक ही ब्रिक है, सेम कलर का होता है, यूनिफॉर्म होता है, सिर्फ हम वो जैसे हम प्लेस करते हैं उसमें थोड़ा डिफरेंस होता है. मटेरियल सेम है, मटेरियल में कोई भी डिफरेंस नहीं है. ठीक है. ओके फाइन. So now understand the difference between English bond and Flemish bond properly. So this is the elevation of English bond. You can observe it. You are having one structure course. Above the structure course, you are having a header course. In the header course, immediately after the first header, you are placing a queen closer. Just observe this. If this queen closer was not here, again you will be placing one header here. So what will happen is the joint of these two courses will be coming together in a line. To avoid that, you will be placing a queen closer immediately after the first header. So now let us see the Flemish bond. This is how the structure course and header course will be coming in English bond. Okay. What is a bond? The arrangement of bricks or stones in each layer so as to avoid continuity of vertical joints in any two adjacent courses. Okay. So this is our objective. You should not have continuous vertical joints in adjacent courses. That is why I was explaining right now that English bond will be having a queen closer placed. Right. Now listen. There is some connection problem. That's why it's not getting loaded. We'll get back soon.
In this lesson, we could
Just a minute. There is some connection problem. Okay. So now you listen. English bond versus Flemish bond. English bond. The construction of English bond is such a way that it is constructed with header and structure of a brick laid in alternate course. And in Flemish bond, it is constructed with header and structure of a brick laid alternatively in one course. Understand the difference. In English bond, it will be alternate courses. First course will be completely made of structures and the next course will be completely made of headers in English bond. In Flemish bond, it will be like same course will be having headers and structures. First course will be having headers and structures. Again, second course will be having headers and structures. But the only difference is in the first course, if a structure is placed first, in the second course, you will be placing a header first to avoid the vertical joint. Okay, so that is the basic difference. Now, strength. This question may be asked. English bond, it is written that it is considered to be the strongest of all types of bonds. Okay, so English bond is the strongest bond. You may get a question like, which is stronger, English bond or Flemish bond? Actually, these things, what I am telling, this subject of construction material is very much important throughout your career. Okay, even after you complete the semester, if you are going for higher studies or any competitive exams for job, okay, this subject construction material, in some universities the name will be different. It may be building material or building construction. These papers are having very much weightage. So this question you should not forget, which is stronger. English bond is strongest. Flemish bond, it's not strong enough for the wall whose thickness is more than 300 mm. So for higher wall thickness, a Flemish bond is never advised. Okay, so that is about the strength. Now, let us go to the third point, appearance. So what is the difference in appearance of English bond and Flemish bond? It provides a rough appearance, especially for those wall thickness, those walls whose thickness is one brick. Okay, so English bond is providing rough appearance and Flemish bond is providing good appearance. Then continuity of vertical joints. In English bond, there is no continuous vertical joints in the structure, but the joint should be continuous in the alternate course. Okay, please understand this point very well. Continuity of vertical joints in English bond, there is no continuous vertical joints in the structure, but the joint should be continuous in the alternate courses, and this continuity is broken by using a queen closer. Please observe this phase. Okay, here you have the first structure and you have the second structure course. So the first structure course and the second structure course will be having continuous joints. That is,
Sir, we are not getting the image.
what happened?
Image, sir, image.
Image?
We are not getting any image.
Okay, fine. I'll check it once more.
Sir, pardon, because connectivity problems से properness नहीं दे रहे हैं.
Okay. I'll check once more. Are you able to see this now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So,
Yes, sir.
okay, in English bond, the continuity of vertical joint. I was explaining about the continuity of vertical joints in English bond. There is no
The voice is not listening.
Okay, my voice is not audible. I'll check once more.
So now it's audible.
Okay, fine. So I'll do one thing. Please, are you able to see this figure? I'll present once more. Okay, are you able to see this? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So,
Yes,
continuous
sir.
vertical joints in
Yes,
English.
sir.
There is no continuous vertical joints in the structure. Okay? When you observe these course, the lowermost course is a structure course. And second course is a header course. Third course is again a structure course. So when you observe these two structure courses, there will not be any vertical joints continuously. Second course is a header course. You will be placing one header. Next to the header, you will be placing a queen closer. After the queen closer, you will be placing the next header. If this queen closer was not there, these two headers will be coming together so that there will be continuous joints in all the courses. So that need to be avoided. Now let us see what is the case in a Flemish bond. It is partially continuous. Just observe a Flemish bond. It is partially continuous. Next one is the bricks are laid as structure and header in alternate course. So there is no need of special care in case of English bond. And what is the case in Flemish bond? The bricks are laid as structure and header in single course. So special care is needed. Next. English bond will take more time to complete the construction work, whereas Flemish bond will take less time to complete the construction work. That is another factor. Cost. English bond is costly and uneconomical because there is no use of brick bat. You are not using brick bat. So these are some of the major points regarding English bond and Flemish bond. Now there is one assignment for you. Okay. After this class, what you have to do is take a piece of paper, draw the plan and elevation of English bond and Flemish bond separately. You can use pen or pencil, that is okay, but it should be drawn with scale. Okay, it should be drawn with scale. Mark structure, header, and queen closer. If queen closer is used in English bond, you will be using a queen closer. So that should be marked clearly, and it should be uploaded in Google Classroom. I will post an assignment there in Google Classroom. I'll start one assignment where you have to draw the plan and elevation. Okay, it is available in the net. Okay, you can just search in Google, you will get it. But understand and draw. Okay, it is for your better understanding. Anyway, I have already shown you these things, but for your better understanding, you have to draw it alone. That's why I'm giving you this assignment. I'll post immediately after this class in Google Classroom, and the deadline is today itself. You have to complete it today itself. Okay, assignments with more time I'll give extra, that is separate, but this thing should be completed. Okay, and those who are not submitting this thing, I'll be checking with your attendance. Right now I'm not taking attendance because I know that many people are having connectivity issue and you won't be available at the proper time for class. Okay, that's why I'm not being strict on attendance. But this thing 1 full day time is there. Okay, I'll give you time till tomorrow. Tomorrow 10 a.m. is the deadline. After that, you won't be able to submit it. Before that, you have to submit. It's a very simple work. It takes hardly 15 minutes. Just take a paper and scan it and upload. It should be drawn with scale. I don't want any rough drawings. Okay, it should be drawn with scale, and the structures should be having equal sizes. A structure won't be having different sizes. 19 centimeter will be the length of structure. Okay, and 9 centimeter will be the length of header. That should be given as such. And queen closer should also be having that specific size. I'm not telling to draw using. Okay, it's not audible. Yeah.
हाँ मुझे भी प्रॉपर सुनाई दे रहा है.
Is it audible?
Yes sir. Yes.
Okay. So I was telling you about
Yes,
one
sir.
work. I was telling you about one work. This work, you will have to do it in 24 hours. Please also write these instructions on Google Classroom. Okay, fine. I'll be writing these instructions on Google Classroom. That's good suggestion. I'll do it. Okay. And the time will only be 24 hours. It should be a perfect diagram, plan and elevation. It is available online. You just need to check it out. So that is about the different bonds, English bond and Flemish bond. Now we are going to study about a different kind of brick that is known as the refractory brick. Okay. There is one class of brick known as the refractory brick or a fire brick. What do you mean by a fire brick or a refractory brick? Some bricks may be able to withstand high temperature. If these kind of bricks are used as the construction material, they will be able to withstand a very high temperature. So such kind of bricks, you call it as the refractory brick or fire brick. Normally the color of brick will be reddish. You have all seen bricks. It will be brown or reddish in color. But when it comes to a refractory brick will usually have white or yellowish white color. Sorry, refractory brick will be having a white or yellowish white color. And the weight of refractory brick will be about 3 kilogram. Refractory brick will be having white or yellowish white color and their weight will be about 3 kilogram. Now my question is, what will be the weight of a normal brick? Do you know? I had told in one class. 3 to 3.5 kg. Okay. Normal brick will be having a weight of 3 to 3.5 kg. Okay. Now come back. So to make the refractory brick or fire brick, you will be using a special kind of clay known as the fire clay. And this fire clay is having the peculiar characteristic of resisting high temperature. At high temperature, this fire clay will not melt or it will not be softened. So as it is not being melted or softened, there won't be any appreciable change in its structural properties. So fire clay can resist high temperature without undergoing any appreciable changes in their property. Such clay is known as a fire clay. So fire clay will be having composition like silica will be 60 to 96%, alumina will be 2 to 36%, and some minor amount of lime, magnesia, iron oxides and alkalis. Manufacturing process of fire brick, it is similar to ordinary brick. What were the different steps in the manufacturing of ordinary brick? Do you remember? What were the different?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what were the different steps? I'll ask. You don't need to tell. Rini. Who is Rini? Rini Negi. Is she available?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Rini, tell me, what is the different steps in the manufacturing of bricks?
Preparation of clay,
Preparation of clays,
molding,
molding,
drying,
drying,
And burning.
Okay. What are the different steps in preparation of clay? I'll ask Shubham Gusain. Where is Shubham Gusain?
Sir,
Okay, Shubham, what is the different steps in the preparation of clay for making a brick?
sir, preparation of clay.
Hmm.
Sir, digging, cleaning, weathering, tempering, plating.
Before digging, there was one step. Can anyone help me?
Unsoiled.
Okay, unsoiling.
Sir,
Sir,
Unsoiled.
unsoiling.
Yes, right. Unsoiling. The first step is unsoiling. Okay, so you remember all these things. Fine. Now there are different types of fire brick. There are some acid refractories or acid fire brick. Silica brick is an example. You just need to remember at least one example. Okay, the nature will be acidic, and an example of acidic fire brick is a silica brick. An example of basic fire brick will be magnesite brick, dolomite brick, bauxite bricks. And in some cases there will be neutral fire brick. Example is chromite brick. One example is enough. Okay, it is not that much necessary, but just you need to we have to take them down. Okay, you can note it down, that is better. Just note down 3 examples is enough. Acidic fire brick, right? Silica brick, basic fire brick, right? Magnesite, dolomite, bauxite, and neutral refractories. You can write chromite bricks. Okay, was that clear? Now there is one more topic left in brick, that is your assignment for this unit. Assignment number 1. Make a brief note down. I no need of noting down. I'll be giving it in Google Classroom. It is about the bricks for special use. Okay. Right now what we have discussed is about the conventional brick or ordinary brick. And at the end of this class, I just told you about refractory brick or fire brick. Okay. But there is some special kind of brick. In order to make sure that some special work is carried out, you need to have certain special kind of brick. Okay, so that is your assignment number 1. I'll give you in Google Classroom. Assignment and classwork will be given in Google Classroom. Okay, so we are winding up bricks. In the first unit, in addition to brick, you have to study about stones also. Okay, so now we are going to start with stones. Stone as a building material. Okay, so brick is used as a building material. Another commonly used building material is stone. Stone is another commonly used building material. So I'll share one material, just a minute. Okay. Okay, so now stone as a building material. What is a stone? What is stone? How stone will be existing in nature? What is stone?
Some mainly constitute of lime.
Okay, mainly constitute of lime. Then it need not always be constituted of lime. It is right, but it is not completely right. Okay, Yes, Rohit Bhatt. What is
Small,
stone?
small pieces of rock.
Okay. Yes, Rohit, it was not clear. थोड़ा जोर से
Small
बोलो.
pieces.
क्या हुआ?
So, small pieces of rocks.
Small piece of rock, right? Rocks will be existing in nature and rocks will be very large in size. So a small piece of rock you call as a stone, and stones you will be using as building material. Now you are going to see the different classification of stone. Okay. So when I asked what is stone, she was telling that it is mainly composed of lime. It need not always be composed of lime. Okay. Lime is one ingredient. In certain kind of stone, you will see that it is composed of lime, but not always the stone will be completely composed of lime. So what other things will be present in stone? Okay. When we are studying about stone, you should learn what is stone, what is the different classification of stone, how stones will be existing in nature, how you are getting the stones from nature, how you will be constructing a structure using a stone. Right now we have discussed about the brick masonry. Brick masonry means how you are arranging the bricks, how you are arranging the different bricks so that a structure is constructed. That is known as a brick masonry. Similar to brick masonry, you have a stone masonry. Okay, how you will be arranging the stones, different stones together to make a structure. You call it as a stone masonry. So we have to discuss all these things if you are studying about stone. So now let us continue. Okay, now listen, is this visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So stone as a building material. What is stone? The hard, solid, non-metallic mineral matter of which rock is made. It's a building material. Now, stone is a very popular building material. It is very popular from olden days because the availability of stones is not a big problem. You will be having natural rock, and from the natural rock, stones will be available in abundant. The stones which are suitable for construction of structures such as retaining walls, abutments, dams, roads, etc. are known as the building stones. Now, the main classification of stones can be classified into different types based on different criteria. Okay, you are having a large number of criteria for classifying the stones. Now, the first criteria for classifying a stone is based on its origin, how the stone is originated. Okay, are you getting it? How the stone is originated, depending on how the stone is originated, you will be classifying the stone. Have you studied geology? Okay, it is.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you have studied geology. In which year?
Sir, 9th, 10th class.
Okay, 9th 10th class में geology पढ़ा. उसमें क्या पढ़ा?
Sir, about Earth's different type of bricks.
Okay.
Sir,
Fine.
not bricks, rocks.
Okay, different
The
types
soils
of
वगैरह, soils and all,
what?
soils and all.
Okay, okay, fine. So you have some basics. Yes, Abhijit, what's it?
Sir, about rocks and natural resources.
About rocks. Okay, so geology you have studied about rocks. So when you are studying about rocks,
So,
yes, what happened?
volcano eruptions.
Okay, volcanic eruptions and all, right? Rocks will be formed as a result of volcanic eruption. So you know something, you have some basic knowledge on geology. Okay, good, very good.
Yes, sir.
So now stone is a building material and we are classifying the stones. There are different criteria for classification of stones. So first criteria for classification of stones is based on its origin. So based on the origin, the stones can be classified into igneous rocks, sedimentary rocks and metamorphic rocks. Okay, based on the classification, there are different criteria for classifying the stones. Okay, so first criteria for classifying stones is how the stones are originated, based on the origin of stones. So based on the origin of stones, you can classify the stones into three: igneous, metamorphic, and sedimentary. Igneous rocks, have you studied all these things? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Fine, good. Igneous rocks, metamorphic rocks, and sedimentary rocks. Do you know what is meant by magma?
Yes, sir.
What is magma?
The molten part,
Yes,
on
the molten
eruption.
material within the interior. You call it as the magma. So magma on cooling and crystallization will be forming certain kind of rocks. Okay, the molten material in the interior, that is magma. Magma may be cooling and it will be getting crystallized to form a rock like structure. You call it as the igneous rocks. Okay, there is a second type of rock known as the sedimentary rock. What is happening in sedimentary rock is, once an igneous rock is formed, the igneous rock will be subjected to weathering. Weathering means, do you know what is weathering? A rock is formed as such. Okay, now this rock will be subjected to different changes in its character. If you have a rock located somewhere, different forces will be acting on this rock. If rain is coming, okay, if heat is there, if there is change in temperature, if there is a ice formation, if there is snowing, like that, due to different physical or geographical conditions, there will be changes in the character of that rock. Okay, and it may happen that small fragments of the rock will be getting broken. Okay, the rock will be shredded, or rock particles will be separated out from the rock. This is known as weathering. Now after weathering, the weathered products will be transported. Okay, if there is certain particles which have fallen down from the rock, if a wind is blowing, if running water is flowing, okay, the particles will be carried from one place to another. This is known as transportation. Okay, so once the particle is transported, it may be getting deposited at certain point. This thing you call as deposition. Okay, so weathering, transportation, deposition. So sediments will be weathered, sediments will be transported, and it will be deposited at one particular place. So after deposition, what is happening is, once the particles are getting deposited at a place, in years, after many years, the deposited particles will be getting solidified at that particular location. They will be solidified, they will be joined together and forming a rock-like mass. So such rock is known as a sedimentary rock. Okay, so igneous rock is clear, sedimentary rock is clear. Now once the sedimentary rock is formed at a particular location, in course of time, the sedimentary rock will be subjected to large temperature differences. Okay, don't think that it is a very fast process. It will be taking many years. Okay, thousands or lakhs of years it may take. So the sedimentary rock will be getting subjected to various changes in its structure. How the changes are coming? Due to the action of heat or due to action of pressure, there will be changes in the sedimentary rock, and due to these changes, there will be a separate kind of rocks formed, that is known as the metamorphic rock. Is it clear? So what I was telling, rock, stone is a building material and stone is obtained from rock. How rocks are classified? rocks are classified based on different criteria. Okay, one criteria for classifying rock is the formation of rock, how the rock is formed. So based on the formation, rocks can be classified into three. What are the three types of rocks based on formation? Igneous rocks, sedimentary rocks, and metamorphic rocks. So once molten magma is coming out and molten magma is getting solidified, molten magma is coming out and it is getting solidified and cooled, you get a igneous rock. Now once the igneous rock is subjected to weathering, it will be getting transported to different places with the help of different agents of transportation. The different agents of transportation are: wind is one agent of transportation, water is another agent of transportation. So with the help of these different agents of transportation, the weathered rocks will be getting deposited in certain areas. Now after deposition, it will be getting solidified and it will be forming large rocky mass. You call such rocks as sedimentary rocks. Okay. Now once a sedimentary rock is formed, the sedimentary rock will be subjected to large changes in their character due to temperature and pressure. Due to temperature and pressure, there will be large changes in the character of the sedimentary rock. Then what you will be getting is known as a metamorphic rock. Is that clear? Just a minute.
Yes, sir.
So that's about the classification of rocks based on the origin. That is only one classification of stones. Okay, there are many more classification of stones. Such things will be continuing in the next class. Okay, so after this class, today itself, go to Google Classroom and check for your classwork. Classwork need to be submitted by tomorrow morning. And I have given one assignment also. For assignment, I'll give some more time. Okay, I'll post the deadline over there. Submit the assignment by that time. Okay, so whatever work is given, write it, scan it, and upload it in Google Classroom. Okay, so that the evaluation will be. Yes.
Sir, today topics also present.
What happened?
Sir, today topics are present.
Topic?
Sir, today topics are present in YouTube video.
Yeah, it is. The class is being recorded. Okay, the class is being recorded. It will be shared in YouTube. Okay, and once the YouTube videos uploaded, I'll be sharing the link in Google Classroom. Okay, that every day we'll be doing so. Now this session was recorded. Every day I'll try to record the session. It will be available in YouTube. Class will be available in YouTube. Okay, so that you can use it anytime. You can use it for your studies. So is it clear? So we are stopping.
Yes, sir.
We'll meet in the next class. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.